What's good? What's good? Good morning. It is June. I cannot believe it is already June. 2025 has been flying by. Part of me wants it to slow down because I feel like I'm losing precious time in my life, but also part of me wants it to just keep going fast because when I'm not doing anything with my life, it's just I want it to be done with. The conundrum of being awake and aware and alone and isolated. I think the future is going to be bright. We just got to keep pushing through it. And so this video, I wanted to recap my thoughts on Donald Trump's second term so far. And I maybe should have made a prediction video to prove this point, but ultimately this is going almost exactly how I saw it going, where we would get some superficial, easy wins. Like, I think maybe some immigration efforts are actually happening, right? Or anti-immigration efforts, some deportations and whatnot. So those are some easy wins. Some new trade deals were announced. Again, easy wins for Donald Trump. The war in Russia and Ukraine wasn't ended overnight, like he said. I knew that was going to be the case. If you understand that he's a lot of, sort of talk, you get it. Let's see what else. The war in Israel is going, or the war in Gaza or Middle East, there we go. I think is going in Israel's favor. It seems like Israel's, I don't want to get too much into that, but I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with either of the wars, but I'm maybe additionally skeptical of what's going on in Gaza. But on a note of sort of, I told you so, or a note of, we just knew it wasn't going to happen or manifest. Epstein. Say that 3 times in a row, YouTube bans your video. That's a joke. I don't know if that's true, but I am curious now if I've triggered the algorithm. I knew, I had hope, a little bit of hope, but I knew we were not going to get any disclosure on the Epstein thing. And it's probably connected to what I was just talking about earlier. Don't want to get too far into that, but MAGA. When it comes to Epstein, let's just admit that y'all got played, and maybe let's try to figure out a better future for all of us. Because I didn't want to vote for Donald Trump. I don't think, and I say this all the time, I believe a Donald Trump presidency is this much better than a Kamala Harris presidency, right? It's so marginal, but when you're like me at the very bottom of society, you need all the help you can get. And Kamala Harris presidency is not going to help me at all. And so this little bit of benefit that we get from Trump being president, we have to capitalize on that, but then also use this opportunity to figure out how we can actually just do something better moving forward. No answers are going to come from the federal government level. However, I did an interview a few months ago with a gentleman named Alan Thomas, and he is vehemently in support of local elections and local impact. And I happen to agree with him. And so it's actually the opposite, where starting from the ground and building up, we can slowly begin to destroy. See, I don't even think we're going to destroy the institutions. I think they're going to crumble on their own accord over time. I just think it's going to take decades, right? Something that the elites and the ruling class do a lot better than us in the working class is they think generationally But like not just 2, 3, 4 generations. They think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations. They think of legacy and things like that, lineage and legacy. And those of us in the working class who are just trying to get by, we don't think about that stuff. A, because we don't really have the resources, and B, because we don't really have the fucking egos that drive us to such megalomaniacal aspirations. I'm going to pause real quick. Unfortunately, and I say this in a lot of my videos, I do predict that this summer is going to get crazy, and it might just continue. We'll see. But I think man, what's the right way to describe them? The angry leftists, the communists, the Marxists, the whatever they are, the progressives, they're going to cause a lot of social unrest. We're already seeing it in Seattle and in other places, and the weather is only going to get nicer, and Seattle people are very much, they're sort of fair weather activists. Not a lot happens from like November to March. But then April, May, June, things start ramping up. And then by July, I'm pretty sure there's going to be just some craziness. But that's what this little pocket of this little window of awareness that is opening awareness to the fact that it's not Democrats and that it's not Republicans. It's all of them, and it's the entire institution. I know some people are just going to always be on Trump's dick. They're just never going to get off, and that's fine. But I think a lot of people are now waking up and noticing like, hey, okay, yeah, maybe Trump was a little bit better, but for the long run, we really need to learn to divest from these larger institutions and organizations, and even deeper than that, ways of being. That's getting slightly esoteric, but the way we have been living for decades, this exploitative sort of at every layer, it's the top layer exploiting the next layer, and then they exploit the next layer, and then they exploit the next layer, until we're on the bottom. Those of us on the bottom, we're just getting fucked from every goddamn direction. And more people are waking up to this reality. We just need to learn to capitalize on it. And I think we're going to have some success, but it's going to require work. And so these videos are important. That's why I ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. I genuinely think I have a relatively unique perspective on a lot of things that are going on that can be not necessarily uniting in agreement for like the belief, but uniting in agreement for the direction we need to go in. And that direction is in sovereignty and divestment from the current paradigm. What does that look like? It's going to look a little different for a lot of other people, but just stop playing their games. Stop asking for permissions. Start just living and interacting. Pull your kids out of school. Pull your money out of the banks. That's a big one. We invest in crypto and in precious metals, and it's going to be crazy for a while, but cash transactions between people, that's key. Open a business, but just don't open it through the state. Just start doing business with people. And that's especially important in the healing world, where so many of us need a lot of healing, but the various obstacles and barriers, like, permissions and whatnot, little piece of paper that says you can heal your neighbor. Just ignore that shit and just go out into your community and start doing. Don't ask for permission, just do. That is how we resist And I think resistance with a little bit of unity is going to be how we can forge a path forward. As we move forward, something to keep in mind, not everybody's coming with us. We're at the point now where if somebody just clearly displays behavior that shows they're not coming with us, don't waste your time on them. Just move on. Just say, you know what? Have a nice day. Have a blessed day. I love you. I'm going to disengage from this relationship right now. You don't have to give people your energy. You don't. This video is getting long. I'm going to ramble there. Let's build the new earth. I'm going to stop rambling. Let's build the new earth together. You, me, all of us. Like, comment, share, subscribe so we can raise awareness and build community. Much love.